Now, let's unmute the mic for once. At least I didn't make it into that far into the stream. Welcome, 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 everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Excuse me. Blah. All right, so what we got going on today is I'm going to be taking some passengers, 2 of them, who aren't with me. We don't model them. Why bother? 2 passengers. Oh, crap. Okay, well, maybe we're not going to take them from here. Let's see. Well, apparently the plane that I was going to take suddenly got disabled, we'll say. Alright, well that kind of screwed things over. Before I started the stream, I checked out the plane and I didn't see that repair symbol next to it. Grr, I mean it's pretty obvious, big green square. But let's try to find another airport nearby. Because what we could do is fly up there. Oh, what do we got here? Okay, so what we could do... Oh man, that's... No, I'm not flying all the way across Iowa. No. Not right now. Not right now. Central Wisconsin, I could probably do that. Let's see where... What is it? K Charlie Whiskey Alpha? Where's my sky vector? Let's go K Charlie Whiskey Alpha. Alright, so we're going to do K Charlie Whiskey Alpha. And then we're going to go to KMRJ. Okay, and then we're going to go to... Just like that. Okay. That'll probably work. Let me zoom out just one little step here. I think I'll be able to... I can show you guys real quick. I gotta add a new source. Do Chrome. Nope, that's not it. There it is. That'll do it. Okay, so let me move that a little bit. This way I can pop it on. You guys can kind of see what I'm doing. So we got here. We'll start here. Actually, can I do that? Let's see. Is anybody going down that way? So it's going to be down. So I'm looking for an arrow down, arrow down, arrow down. Okay, nobody's going to KMRJ. So you might scrap that one. Although, let me look at the... Seeing what's around. Oh, there's my stream. Wrong tab. Streamception. KEFT. Where is KEFT? Alright, so that's what we'll do. We'll go KEFT, KMRJ. Just like that. Okay, so let's pick up some passengers here. Who's going down to KFEFT? That guy. Oh, 4 Really? Crap. I gotta pay more attention. I'm still getting used to this thing. Is anybody else going south? Okay, well, no one here is going south. Crud. Excuse me. Fine, let's try another one. Chippewa Falls, Rosenbaum Field. No passengers, but there's a plane, but I can't take it. You see the repair guy there? Yeah, that's no bueno. No bueno at all. Central was, we're already there. Iowa Falls. I might be able to do, if anybody's going up that way. Up? Anybody up north? Nope. Fine. KVOK. Where's KVOK? Maybe. FLD, FRM. Who's going? Okay, a lot of people going east. KGOV. Oh, geez, that's Michigan. Nope. Wausau. I think it's going to be a little bit out of our way. RRL, AAIG. Oh. Well, hell. What airport was that? There we go. KAW. KAUW. Wait. KAUW. KAUW. No, I said KAUW. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? Okay, there's that. KMRJ. But that's assuming that they're going back down. So if we go, where was that? Where am I at? What's going on? Okay, that's at Wausau. Anybody going south? Yes. That's quite a trek. EFT 139 miles. I mean, I could do it. All right. Let's not worry about the source there. Oh, hey, Rain. I'm here. I'm here. You're here. This is a rain-friendly stream time. I've got some time. Right when I get home, so might as well. All right, I'm trying to figure out where some people need to go that I can rent a plane from and take them there. Let's turn it back on so you can see what I'm doing at least. All right. Let's forget taking people that I've already added. We just won't add them. Try to remove them. These guys, let's sort by pay. How about that? Okay. El Cheapos. No thanks. I sorted by the wrong thing. There we go. Okay. Four cases, 3K generators. For goods, each one good counts as a passenger, so that one's not going. One case of cranberries, that's one person. I'm looking for, around about 100 and about 800 is pretty good. I can take 2 passengers like that. So here we go to one amateur lawyer, conspiracy theorist. Oh, that'd be a fun flight. Both of those guys. Although we come down here, they're still paying $800 to go 50 Delta. Let's do that. They're going to 50 Delta. What's 50 Delta? It's an asphalt runway up in the UP. Yeah, we'll go up there. We'll go. I did not check those. That's not what I checked. That's not even the airport. What's going on? Oh, that's interesting. I should pay attention to that. Alright, so let's select those guys again. Bam, bam. I'm going to add the assignments to my flight. And then we're going to go down here and grab the 172. Oh, come on. Ugh. My airplane's not there. Curses. Curses. Crap. Well, who's got a 172? I need a 172! Because that's the plane I'm sitting in. Within... Where am I at? KAUW? Go. So one of these airports... CWA... You got the broken one, though, I think. Nope, you're good. Oh, but you're only dry. Crap. Chippewa Falls. It's a grass runway. They got a broken 172. Can't do that either. ISW. How's your 172? You got a lot of flights. Your 172 is good. It's a steep price for no GPS, though. I need a GPS. So not you. Volk. There we go. I've heard 161. Alright, but who do you have? Who wants to go where? Oh, it's these guys again. Alright, so we'll take you to KVOK to KFLD. Suppose I should write these down. For future reference, KVOK to KFLD. Add those guys. Rent him. Rent wet. Okay. Turn that off. So I can look at chat again. Woo! I'll take a woo. Sorry. Where was I? Okay. My flight. Alright. You two guys. Cancel selected. Okay. So that means I gotta go switch airplanes, or switch airports rather. So KVOK, Volk Field, yeah. And we're gonna go to FLD, so let's change my navigation, KFLD. Sky Vector is gonna go KVOK, KFLD, woo! Delete the first airport, KFLD. Without all those waypoints. Okay. Alright, looks like we're going to be flying from... Actually, I'll pop that back up. Doink. So we're going to be flying from here to there. Here we got Lake Michigan. I think this is Green Bay. Milwaukee, yeah. So like central Wisconsin-ish. I think up here we've got St. Paul, Minnesota. Yeah. Oops. Move the window. Grab the window and move it. Thank you. I don't need highlighting. I give up. Alright. So we'll be heading of 097. What's the weather looking like? 150 at 9, 10 statute miles overcast at 2,000. 100 at 5, 10 statute miles visibility, overcast at 1,100. Yep, that checks out. Turn that off again. Okay. Let's start this beast. First things first. Looks like it's a little windy. I can feel my plane moving on me. Battery master on, avionics off. I don't know why it does that. Crack the throttle just a wee bit. Fuel pump, we're going to look for that needle to wiggle. As I give it more gas, that's a wiggling. Primed. And crank. Yeah. We'll hold you about 1,000 RPM. Avionics can come back on. Get a beacon. Nav strobe. We'll turn on the taxi light now just for grins. It's a little dark out. Bring this guy up. The live weather is pretty good. And you know what? since I got my checklist out, I might as well use those. After I've started the airplane, obviously. Alright. Engine start, master switch on. Prime is complete, was complete. Prop area, well, clear. Starter is engaged. Mixture control full forward, check. Throttle 1000 RPM, oil pressure, check. Amperage, check. Low volts annunciator, well, that's going to be this little guy here. Come on. Are you a hold? No, you are a hold. Yep, that works. Lean the mixture. Just a bit. There we go. Engine start checklist is complete. Before taxi, avionics master switch on. Flight instruments checked and set. Well, let's get our... Do I already have my... Oh, God, I have my flight plan in here. That's great. Clear. Enter. Clear. Enter. Clear. Enter. Alright, I'm not doing a flight plan. I am just going to do a direct to. So get out of that. Thank you. Direct to. Nope. There we go. Okay. Where was I going? FLD. F. Come on. LD. Fond Du Lac. Oh, that makes sense. Alright. Enter, enter. Alright, so we got our direct to 77 miles. Let's double check that. Yep, 77 nautical miles. I think we're good to go. Let's see. Get that out of the way. I'm not going to tune any radios. I'm not doing any radio calls. There goes my OS errors. Woo! Alright, let's see. Alright, Fond Du Lac has 2 runways. Looks like one is grass, I think. Yeah, there's an asphalt, and it says it's an asphalt runway. The aerial photo doesn't look like an asphalt runway. Oh well. What kind of approaches we got? We got localizers, DME, we got RNAVs, GPS. Let's grab him. Fondy, interesting. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Oh, that's right. Parking brake. I rebound some of the keys on my joystick. You put me on the runway, stupid. Yeah, let's do this legit. Screw it. Sorry, bumping the mic. The winds are 100. So that's gonna mean we're gonna take off this way. High-speed taxi? High-speed taxi. Expedite the taxi. Got the airspeed moving. That means we're cooking. Normally when you taxi, it's supposed to be, they say a fast walk. That's too slow. That's way too slow. I mean, I've been in planes that, we've done that. Slow walk or fast walk. I prefer a light jog, honestly. Alright, I got 15 Celsius. That's plenty warm. I'm not going to need pitot heat or too many icing concerns. Right now it's single player. I can make it multiplayer, especially if I were to sign up for Pilot Edge. In that case, you actually get real live controllers and pilots, and you can see other people. Um, but as mine stands right now, it's effectively single player. I can put world traffic in here and have AI fly around, but they're pretty stupid. They'll plow right through you on a taxiway. It's actually kind of amusing, um, except when you consider that they actually use the physics and can actually blow you around. So yeah, it makes for an interesting time. But yeah, I can open the single player up to like a land, just like Minecraft, and have people connect, and you'll be able to see people and their planes and fly around. There's no collision, so you could go head to head literally and fly right through each other. It's kind of amusing. All right, windsock checks out. This is where we want to be. Set the parking brake. Mixture rich. Might as well do the control check while I'm here. Flaps go down. Flaps go down. Flaps are down. Up and down. Up and down. And if I go to the back, I have a rudder and an elevator. Yay! Alright. And then this, I'm going to throttle up to 1800. Right about there. We do our mag check. Check the magnetos. So left, about a 50 RPM drop, looks good. Back on both, comes back up. Go to the right, about a 50 RPM drop, bring it back to the both. Instrumentation still in the green. We got mostly fuel. And before I do any of that, I've done this before. Loading area. Wow, the plane I just rented has 1 gallon of fuel. That's a problem. Alright, if I'm taking 2 passengers, I'm going 77 nautical miles. Let's give it 23 gallons. Refuel. Alright, so when I start up X Economy, log in, start flight. So we have our 2 passengers going to Fond Du Lac. We have our aircraft, our lease time 3 hours, 23 gallons of fuel. Off we go. And you can check, see how the fuel dropped down, because it actually clears your fuel and then loads what you've purchased on the website. It's a separate thing. It's kind of like an add-on, sort of. Think flight simulation MMO. I like it. I currently have about $10,729 that I've made so far, putzing around. All right, go back to full idle and make sure that the engine doesn't quit. Looks good. Alright, check the bring those flaps up. Check the approach, clear. Check the runway, clear. Get my cursor out of the way, and off we go. Release the parking brake, dum-dum. Like I said, I rebound my keys, my trigger on my joystick, because I don't have a fancy side tech or anything. It's just a Logitech Extreme 3D Pro piece of crap. It does the job. It does the job. Alright, lining up runway 9. And actually, before we go, I just want to check. Yeah, okay. The last flight I took last night, I was actually overweight. And that's not a good thing. Here we go. Alright, coming out of here, we're going to want to do a 097. Get that cursor out of my way. Airspeed's alive, 40 knots. 50 knots, 55, 60. I'll rotate. Positive climb, gear up if I had landing gear. And if ceilings are only at 1,000 feet, well, I did not check my altimeter. Crap. I might go into the soup. If that's the case, we're going to fly a little low. Alright, heading of 097. It's actually fairly straight ahead, just a little bit south of east. Just a hair. Just a hair. I'll go cheat mode. Bring the heading bug around and heading select. This way if we get close to... I mean the plane's IFR, I can fly it. IFR I'd just rather not, it's kind of boring for you guys. I mean, unless you're into a white screen and a cockpit panel. I mean, to each their own, I guess. Alright, let me check the altimeter. Altimeter is 3000. So come down here. Whoop. There's the altimeter. And 2,000 feet. We'll just sit right here. That's a decent altitude. I think the field elevation. It's a long list. Field elevation is 800 feet. So, yeah, I can see the clouds passing through. Yeah, I think we're at a decent altitude here. It might drop. No, it rises. We've got 1,100 feet here, which is, 100 feet above me would be the cloud deck. And then 2,500 feet at Fond Du Lac. Oh, that's just south of Oshkosh. Awesome. Hey Strats, how's it going? Got skills to pay the bills. Team Typo, don't you know? Should know that by now. Ow. Yeah, just the fringes I can see. That's not smoke. That is not smoke. In X-Plane, the smoke fills your cockpit quickly. Fairly realistic, but... So yeah, this is Wisconsin. I think. Yeah. It's Wisconsin. do, 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 do. Actually, I can pull that up while there we go. So that's where we went, and that's where we were at Camp Douglas. And we're gonna fly over here to Fond Du Lac. Right up here is Whitman Regional. That's where they have the most awesome fly-in ever. Right here. Screw the Paris Air Show. Doesn't hold a candle to Oshkosh. This is the Mecca for general aviation and and business and military right there. That's awesome. Think Minecon for aviation. It's awesome. Or maybe Comic-Con. Maybe. Thank you for the tweet, Rain. Appreciate it. Doink. Still about 2,000 feet, as expected. It's exactly what I told it to do. It's a little bumpy. Let me straighten out my view here. It's a little bumpy. I've got the what do they call it? Camera GFX Basic. That's actually where as the plane like has turbulence, hits bumps, the plane will go one way and your head will go another, just as it would if you're actually in the plane. It's really interesting, but it makes trying to click on dials and stuff very difficult. Hey, Callie. Yes, this is X. Hi. And we have an Arctic in the stream, and I am dropping condensation all over the place. How's it going, Arctic? Let's see. Yeah, we're pretty much. I'm quite pleased with myself. I am almost on course. I'll take it. The goatee, yeah. Most people come for the goatee and stay for the stream. Ah, thank you. It's a bit cold there. Yeah, I saw that. It's a little chilly up there. Ah, thanks, Callie. I like it too. Alright, what's this we're flying over? This is Castle Rock Lake. Apparently there's an airport over... where's it at? I think I just literally flew right over it, called Accurate. Okay. You can name your private airport whatever you like. And they'll put it on the sectional charts. Here, I'll show you. Doink. So right here, private airport, that little guy right there, which, that's the peninsula, so it's probably right up here. Or actually, might be up there. Over there somewhere. That's that. Ah! Close the window, close the window. Wrong button, Krunk. Hi, Fee. How's it going? What's awkward? I am dripping all over the place. How is it going? Is it going well, I hope? We're just putzing around the cheese capital of the world. Wisconsin. Oh, that looks fun. That little dog leg there. Bump. Where'd that car go? Where's that one gonna go? And bump. That's awesome. That is awesome. Whoa! Hello, panel. How you doing? Yes, this is Wisconsin. Because I am flying... Oh! Well, thank you for the follow. That's not awkward at all. I haven't streamed in a while, so... No big deal. I'm not big on the number of followers. In fact, I didn't realize until yesterday that I broke 100. Oh well. I'll take it. Thank you both for the follows. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Yes, Wisconsin. What I'm doing is I found I don't want to call it a game, because it's not exactly a game. It's an MMO framework, we'll call it, for flight simulation. It makes it a lot more interesting. It's called FS Economy, and basically, if you've ever played World of Warcraft or any type of MMORPG, the weather changed. One of the things in X-Plane is it's blocked weather, so it's not a smooth gradual thing. So I might come to Minnesota if there were enough Cessna 172s available. I did look before the stream and I couldn't find any. But there we go. Well, see, that was gradual. You could have done that. Didn't have to scare the crap out of me. Silly X-Plane. But anyways, yeah. It's like an MMO. But instead of quests, you have passengers and cargo. And your plane is your mode of transportation to get passengers and cargo from place to place. You can buy your own aircraft. You can rent an aircraft. And it's all kind of done on a website, so it's not really in the game. This is all you get, is this little plug-in right here. But basically on the website, I can pick and choose passengers or cargo, and they'll show up here in my assignment. And then I can pick a plane, either the plane I own, which I don't yet because I've only got $12,000 or whatever. And then you go and fly that flight, and then you pay for the rental, and then the passengers or cargo, well, the cargo doesn't really pay you, but the passengers will pay you, and the guy who wanted the cargo will pay you, and hopefully it's more than your rental. But I've got two passengers with me. I have 2 Badgerland passengers going to Fond Du Lac. Why, I don't know. I don't care. And no, they're not really in the plane. I could choose to model them, actually. I don't have a passenger. I think I turned them off when I'm in the plane. Is that settings? Show when inside. Let's see what that does. Let's see who's here. Apparently me. Well, I think I have to have a non-zero. Oh, 14 is as low as I can go. All right, 2 passengers. Nope. Turn those off. Because the thing I don't know is if this airplane that I'm flying with conflicts with the weight and whatnot that X Economy gives me. Alright, so we've got 54 miles. We're at 2,000 feet. It's a VFR flight. It doesn't look too good out there. Doesn't look good at all. If I check some of the airports along the way, I can see, so right here in this area it says overcast at 800. And we're at about 1,000, so we'd wind up about 200 feet into the soup. And there's not a lot of waypoints around here. Here we have scattered at 1,500. We have overcast at 2,600. So it looks like ceiling's pretty low in this area, and then pops up as we get closer to Oshkosh and Lake Michigan and all that stuff. So we might actually wind up in the soup for a little bit. Yay. Although, actually, let me pop out chat so I can see it. Dang, Beam, you give me a full window for the chat window? That's impressive. Alright, so if I go there, no, not that. So if I click turn on Chrome, it gives me, yeah, it's close enough. Okay. So let's go ahead and find some Cessna 172s that are rentable, that have assignments, preferably fuel too, because if this plane was any indication, he had 1 gallon of fuel left. That's not funny. Alright, let's go 100 nautical miles from, I don't remember what St. Paul's ICAO code is. MSP. Doink. From KMSP, search. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, so we have Rochester, South St. Paul, Municipal, St. Cloud Regional. Let's see what's here. We have a 172 at a very nice price. 135, but he doesn't have he's no GPS. I prefer to have a GPS, and I will pay for it. South St. Paul. There's a 172. IFR autopilot. Nope. Rochester. There's a 172 for 146. That's a good price. But none of these I can actually take. Like this one is 9 passengers. I only got 3 seats, and that doesn't account for very much fuel. 10 passengers, 4 passengers, 3 passengers I might be able to do, but they're going to see, the tricky thing with the seaplane bases like this is well, I don't have floats. I'm not exactly a seaplane. Passing through the course a little bit, so we'll duck to the left just a hair. There we go. But that's a possibility, but I can't take anybody from Rochester, so that's a bad idea. And the last one is Moose Lake. It's an asphalt runway. It's got a 172. Oh, no, that's a nice price. I think we're going to do this one next. So we'll put these guys down in Fond Du Lac, and then we'll go up to Moose Lake, which is southwest of Duluth, Minnesota. Eh? I'm in Iowa. I hear enough of the accent. Really? Born there? Awesome. What, in Duluth? Duluth? There's a guy at work that's what he says. Duluth. Just as if his mouth was like Duluth off to the side. Yeah. Duluth. Nice. Well, these guys are going a nice short distance. That's only 37 miles. That is not normal. I know it's not normal, but that's how he says it. Yeah, 37 nautical miles for $622. I'll take it. I will take that. Boom, 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 boom. Where are we at? 43 nautical miles. Get rid of that. Pretty darn close to on course. I like that. This wasn't terribly difficult. There's a couple I've had to fly, pretty erratically. This autopilot is not sophisticated, we'll say. You're not going to get GPS tracking on it. It's strictly, you plug in. I don't think I can. No, I can't bring up I can bring up the GPS, but I can't bring up this. But I can do this. So you have heading. Nav is only going to be tied to your radio navigation. That'll do an approach, almost like an auto land, but not quite. Forget what the rev is. I don't think it's related to back course. I could be wrong. I haven't flown in a plane with autopilot. I've done all, actual flying, hand flying. But this, what I usually do is heading and vertical speed, and I feel that I can fine tune it from there. Let's move that over there. Let's move chat over here so I can see it, because I want to talk to you guys. It's been a while. Drippy, drippy. Usually means it's really humid. What's the humidity? Where am I? I don't know. Where are you? 79% humidity. That's up there for Iowa. It's no Florida, but I want to find an add-on plug-in, if you will, so that I can look at this map and see. See where I'm at. I had to figure out where I was. VFR flight though. More water. Looks like I'm right about in here. So we're by Princeton. Somewhere around there. Doink. And the hot air balloonists are out again. Great. There's one there. Hello, lag. Yeah, I'm going to turn that off. That's just creepy. That's really creepy. Settings? Show when inside. Don't bother. Now, this airplane's pretty cool. It'll actually fog up the windows if the conditions are right. There's another balloonist. If you don't have the cabin heat and the window heat on, it'll actually fog up and you can't see very much. You can see a little bit under the the bottom of the window, but it's not ideal. And adjust the course to the right just a little bit. Boy, I'm booking it, and I shouldn't be. Why? Because I didn't lean out the engine. But faster we get there, and I'm not concerned too much about fuel flow. There we go. At $120, I can do that. I'm doing it. So how is everybody tonight? What is going on? And my mic boom is pretty low. I think I keep hitting my shoulder. If that's the case, I apologize. I absolutely apologize. 34 nautical miles. Let's chase that course. Oh, you can see we're getting into the scud a little bit. Avoiding skyblock. Touche, touche. Looks like Wisconsin has a little bit of rolliness to it. And I think we're going to slowly get into the soup here. Now, I'm probably going to tell this story 100 times as I do these streams. Especially when I can actually show it kind of in here. Because I like this story. This is actually pretty good. So you notice how the ceiling, the bottom of the clouds are kind of coming down, so that we're kind of flying into it like this. Well, back in the day, I used to work for a banner tower, and eventually this will become common knowledge. But yes, I used to work for a banner tower. I didn't fly the banners. I didn't fly the planes. Almost, but not quite. I was the ground crew. I was the guy that you never got to saw if you were at the event. And you look up and you see the banners and the billboards flying around. I was the guy back at the airport setting those things up and picking them up for the pilots to pick up, and then they'd come back and drop it and pick up the next one. That was me back there. Well, we'd fly up to like 3 hours away from our home airport to get to these events. So we go to like Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Detroit, all that good stuff. And well, this one day, late summer, we flew to Pittsburgh for a Pirates game. And we put down, we finished towing around 7 o'clock. The sun was still up. but there was a line of thunderstorms moving from west to east that were really, really severe. Visibilities dropped down. It was just, you don't want to fly through that. Um, and so we talked about flying as far as we could and then putting down, letting the storm pass, and then lifting up and going. Uh, and that was going to be our option until we, explored the FBO at the airport. FBO is fixed base operator. It's basically like a company at the airport that caters to pilots. It's almost like a lounge. There's a shop. It's where you'd rent planes or get instruction, or there'd be like a weather terminal, that sort of thing. Well, in their lounge, they had these super comfy leather massage chairs. There were three of them, and there were three of us. We found those chairs and decided, you know what? We're going to sit here. We're going to watch movies. There's free popcorn. And we're going to wait for the storm to get here. And then we're going to go. And we all agreed. So sure enough, we sat there. I think we watched at least one movie. We might have watched two. But eventually we said, okay, you know what? Let's go check the weather again. The storm had actually broken a bit like this. And it was going to pass right through us, and we were never going to see a storm. So we were like, screw it, let's go. It was getting late. It was like, 8, 9 o'clock at night. So we take off from Pittsburgh. We head west. We get just into Ohio from Pennsylvania, and this happened. Although it's not happening nearly as bad, but the ceiling was literally dropping. Just... And so we were at probably 2,000, maybe 2,500 feet. Not much different than here. And the ceiling was just coming down on top of us. So we would lower our altitude, get into the clouds, lower our altitude, get into more clouds, lower altitude, just so we could make, because our aircraft weren't IFR capable, mostly, or at least they weren't checked out, certified, we'll say. And we just wanted to keep ground contact. But about this time, we called up Akron Canton International Tower for some advice. We wanted to see what the weather was on the other side, if we could skirt under this and get through to the other side if things kind of opened up. And he said ceilings were better on the other side of Akron Canton, but that they were dropping. So it was just kind of the same thing all around. And just as we get just a hair past the airport, the ceilings got too low. We were probably 100 feet from like treetops and whatnot, and we were like, we can't do this because there's like radio towers that are 1,000 feet tall. We can't do this. So we tried circling around. We were like in the clouds, out of the clouds, in the clouds, out of the clouds, trying to find, because we didn't have navigation equipment. We had a little handheld. Because this was back in the day when Garmin had the two-tone, the monochrome display GPS for your car. We were using that. And as we flew around, I looked down and I spotted the Rabbit, which is the flashing lights that lead you into an airport, the end of the runway. I spotted that, notified the pilot, and we banked into it real quick. What we didn't know was the other aircraft, there were two of us, had already spotted that and was flying like this directly below us, and we swooped down and right in front of him. It could have been bad, but he was watching us, and I'm told that my pilots saw that as well. Whether they did or didn't, I don't know, but so sure enough, we landed these two Cessna 150s, which are two-seat aircraft, just like this one, but only 2 seats, so it's a lot smaller. We land on this ginormous runway. It was just huge. Because this thing could land in 100 feet, and we got 10,000 feet to work with. So it was quite comical. But we taxied in, and they actually had us, call up ground, although it's the same guy, and it was pretty amusing. But they had us taxi in and go to parking. And so we pull off the runway. We get out of the taxiway, and He says, well, taxi to parking. And we went, where's parking? 'Cause this is an international airport. It's huge. But it's also like, 10, 11 o'clock at night. It's almost midnight, and there's nobody around. He goes, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you just go park over there by the Hornet? And we went, the Hornet? He goes, yeah, there's an F-18 sitting over there. Just go park next to that. So we did. These two Cessna 150s, little bitty aircraft, parked, one on each side, next to a United States Marine Corps F-18C Hornet. You don't realize how big those aircraft are until you step out of a little Cessna 150 and look up at it. It was awesome. It was like surrounded in fog because the ceilings were coming down. It was really misty, foggy. You could see the lights from the taxiway lights with a little blue glow, and then you had the rotating beacon on top of the tower. Just whoosh. Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And so we grabbed a taxi, went to the nearest hotel, slept 4 hours. I slept in a chair. They took the beds. And we spent the night there. We came back in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning. It was like a Monday morning. And, I mean, we're drenched. I'm covered in mud from working the night before. And the two pilots are sweaty from working the night before. We stunk. We were dirty. We were disheveled. Our hair's a mess. Tired as hell. And we walk into this FBO, and it's like the executive FBO. These are people who are getting into private jets to fly to work kind of place. I think it was Executive Air. Might have been Signature. Anyways, so we walk in, and we are just bleh. And so we walk up to the desk to pay the tie-down fees and fuel up. And the looks we were getting from the clients there was amusing. And then, because I can only imagine that they're assuming that we're getting into, like a citation. And then they watch us walk out onto the ramp and get in these little two-seat piston engine aircraft parked next to an F-18 Hornet. But we actually taxied out. We were between two, not A320s. Well, one was a 319. I think it was one Airbus and one Boeing, like or an MD-80, 88. It's a Boeing 717, however you want to look at it. We got to wait for the first one to take off because there's a thing called wake turbulence behind every plane. Just like when you drag your hand through the water, you can see the swirls of disrupted water. Airplanes do the same thing. And if a airliner takes off and then a little airplane tries to take off, they can actually get caught in it, roll, and slam into the ground. It's not pretty. So we waited and got clearance to take off in front of a Boeing 717. It was awesome. It was awesome. That's one of my favorite experiences. And weather change. I really, really like that one. I know the pilot I was with, Quita, I know he still tells that story. In fact, he still rags on me for it. And he's actually right now he's a regional pilot for Delta Airlines. He's flying the CRJ 900s, 700s, out and about. And I've got him on my Facebook, and every now and then he'll be complaining about not being able to fly somewhere, and I'll bring up that story. And they'll be like, see, yeah, I can do it. I've done it before. Why won't Delta believe me? Oh, man. 13 miles. Let's go ahead and check out our runway situation. Looks like we've got a north-south and an east-west. We have, a 1.8 and a 3.6, so that's our east-west, or our north-south, and a 9.27, and that's our east-west. We are heading almost east-west, so we're going to fly right in. Let's trim that in just a little bit. So we're gonna land runway 9 straight in. This is actually pretty decent setup. So we're 12 miles out, 11.9 miles out or so. Let's start configuring for landing, which in an airliner is a little more complicated. In here, it's just slowing down. I mean, granted, the airliner's doing the same thing. Just slow down. Slow down and lose altitude, but once I get within 10 miles or so, or see the airport, these are my binoculars, by the way. They're standard equipment. You just lean over the dash and go, huh? Dum 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 da dum da dum 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 da dum da dum dum. Oops. As you get closer to your waypoint, the sensitivity, it works on your radio navigation equipment, your VOR, ILS even, gets a lot more sensitive, and so this thing will move quicker, and the quicker it moves, the closer you're getting, and small corrections have big effects, whereas back there at our departure airport, a small change doesn't do very much. But as you get closer and closer and closer and kind of funnel in, it gets a little more tricky. It's tricky. I do like the traffic in X-Plane. You see the little cars putzing around. They're actually, drawn up pretty good. There goes the semi-truck. Or the hot air balloon over here. Whoa, Wacky Shack. There he is. Laminar Research. Those are the guys that's the company that makes X-Plane. Alright. I'm going to disconnect the autopilot. It's going to beep. A little bit. I got the volumes turned down. Because until somebody says they want to hear the engine sound, I'm going to assume most people want to hear the music. For now. I don't mind. Alright, we're going to slow down a little bit. But just a bit. Just a bit. And as we slow down, we're out... words. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. As we slow down, we will actually lose altitude, although I'm pitching up to counter that. And I never turn my taxi light off, but I'm going to turn my landing light on. This is not a controlled field, I do not believe. Control tower, no. But it is, I believe... Oh, no. It's not even in airspace, controlled airspace. There it is, right there. See the beacon? Whoa. And I can kind of confirm that with the course, which is pointing off to the right. Let's get that cursor out of the way. You don't need no stinking cursor. But what I want to do is basically, because I know the runway is aligned east-west, is basically get that beacon to where if I turn and head due east, which is just a couple degrees to my left, that'll line up. And looking at these roads and knowing how things are here in the Midwest, that they are heading directly east and directly north, directly east-west and directly north-south, and they're about a mile apart. Which to me, because I grew up in this kind of area, not here, I grew up in Ohio. When people talk about city blocks, it's 4 blocks that way. I'm going, and you walked that? You're crazy. Because in my mind, and I'm getting better, but in my mind, a block is a mile by a mile. Because looking out here, that's what they are. They're blocks. See? Mile, mile, mile. Granted, some of them are like half mile, but you get the idea. So to sit there and be like, yeah, I walked 4 miles, I'm like, huh? But now that I live in a town, not out in the country, well, I mean, the town's 30 miles from the nearest city. It's in the middle of a cornfield. But the town itself is actually laid out in city blocks. So I'm getting used to it. Like the store is 4 blocks away, the grocery store. There's the runway. Alright, if I can slow to 80 knots and get some descent, I'll drop some flaps. Field elevation is 800 feet. We're back down to 2,000. Let's do this. Let's pitch back up and lose some airspeed. Because then if I drop the flaps, then I can descend quicker. So up a little more. There we go. Now I can drop the nose and I won't accelerate nearly as much. Oh, actually that's got me trimmed right there. There's no pressure on the stick. I like it. Little to the left. So we'll just drift it that way. I do like how, see how the panel moves? You know, my head moves with it? Yeah. It's actually what happens too. Do. So what we're going to do is I'm going to land it here. And I'm going to go take a quick break. Maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, somewhere around there. Stretch, walk around, the usual, you know. And then I'll be back and we'll go fly in Minnesota. Minnesota. 70 knots. That's a little slow. Let's speed that up a little bit. Still pretty high. Still really high. Minnesota. Yeah, right? Callie will correct us if we're wrong. I'm off to bed when you land. Fair enough. I'm glad you caught it, Rain. It's been too long. Alright. I'm going to drop that last notch just so we can lose some altitude because I am way too high. I'm not managing my energy. Literally. I mean, at this point, I'm really ballparking things just to get the rust out. Because it's been a while since I've flown, and I can feel it getting better and better. But I have a ways to go in the procedures and everything. And flight idle. Up. There we go. Wacky shack. It's a bumpy runway. Sorry, I had to get my other hand up here. I'll show you what I mean in a second here. So this is the joystick that I use. I have left and right brake right here. And my parking brake is down here. This used to be my this was regular effort, both brakes at the same time. And then I use these for differential braking. But now I map these two to brakes so that theoretically I can, if I get my thumb just in there just right, I can hit both at the same time. But mostly what I'll do is I'll grab it like this and hit both brakes because I don't have rudder pedals. How long am I going to stream? Maybe another hour. The other flight shouldn't take too long, I don't think. Let me finish this one while I'm talking. Yeah, just another hour or so. Take it easy, Rain. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. Your finished flight. Your flight is logged and the results can be... we're good to go. Okay. Soccer, you're heading off too? Or you're saying goodbye to Rain? I hope you're not heading off. I didn't even see you in there. How's it going? Glad you can make it out. All right. Before I go, take a break. Oh, you're saying goodbye to Rain? You just got back? Oh, okay. All right, well, welcome to the stream as I'm about to go take a break. I'll be back. Actually, you guys can watch me as I do this. So we'll pull that up. Kitty. Those are my feet you're chewing on. Please, no. No. Don't look at me like that. Anyways. So we're going to take these two guys. Nick Olson Air, passengers. I do have a cat. Alright, Arctic. I should be here when you get back. I hope. So we're going to take these two guys from Moose Lake, which is southwest of Duluth. And then we're going to take this aircraft, Rent Wet. And then we're going to go to my flight. I appreciate that. Let's see. Okay, so he's got 9 gallons of fuel. Must find foods. Foods are good. I might do that too. So yes, go grab stuff. I'll be back in probably about 10 minutes. I just want to make sure I had this set up. So yeah, give me about 10 minutes and we'll be back for some Minnesota flying. Sound good? Okay. Let me turn that off. And there. Back in a bit. There we go. Okay. There we go. I'm back. Alright. Let's double check. I know I grabbed those passengers. Okay. KMZH. No. KAIT. KMZH. KAIT. Oh, yeah. Moose Lake to Aitkin, I think. I think that's what that says. Okay. My flight has 2 passengers. I have an aircraft I need to refuel. 9 gallons. I'm going to fill it to a total of 20. 18. Refuel. Alright, so I have 18 gallons of fuel. Let's move. KMZH. This might take a minute. Let's check the weather there. 194? What's wrong with 194? Alright, this is going to be a low flight. We're going to be buzzing some trees. There's no obstacles between here and there. I'm just tapping the condensation off. It's 37 nautical miles. It'll be a short flight. Are there any passengers at AIT? There is. Ah, I got you, Soccer. I got you. That makes sense. Close enough. I've got upgraded scenery, so it's taking just a little bit longer to load. I do apologize. If you want to see where I'm going, I'll turn that back on. Doink! That's it. So we're starting here, and we're going to go all the way up to here. Now, the weather is not the greatest, but you know what? We're going to make it work. So, alright. So we got our airplane. Let's fire it up. Mixture rich. Actually, hold on. Checklist. Okay. That's the walk around. I'm not really going to do the... I can do the walk around, but... Alright, before start, passenger brief is complete. Airport diagram. I've got the website up right there. Fuel selector is on both. Let's take a look. Fuel selector is on both. The fuel shutoff valve is in. Mixture control is idle cutoff. There we go. Throttle is open 1/4 inch. There we go. Just a little bump. Standby battery. This is actually a checklist for a G1000 equipped Cessna. I don't have that, so we're just going to skip that one, skip that one, skip that one, skip that one, skip that one. Panel lights off. Beacon lights on. Beacon, beacon, beacon. Circuit breakers are in. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, 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 yep. Parking brake is set. Seatbelts and harnesses on. Click, click. Before start checklist complete. Engine start. Battery master on. Prime complete. It's going to be fuel pump. Looking for fuel flow. Wiggle, wiggle. I got wiggle. Turn that off. And click, click. Crank. There we go. Go to 1,000 RPM. Whoa, too much. Back it off. Alright. Throttle 1,000 RPM. Oil pressure. Good enough. It's in the green. Amps. We are charging. Low indicators. Come on. Oh, come on, I had you working last time. What's your deal? There we go. Looks good. Okay. Mixture lean. Back down a little bit. Lean that out just a little bit. Get the throttle back in. Engine start checklist complete. Before taxi. Avionics master on. Fuel used. Avionics set. Flaps are 0. Parking brake will be released when we're ready to go. Let's let the GPS turn on. There we go. Excuse me. No waypoints. We're going direct to KAIT. So we're going to go direct to... Nope, wrong one. Alright, take it easy, soccer. Glad you can make it out. K-A-I and T. Activate, go. Yeah, get some Advil. Hope you feel better. Take it easy. Bye. Hello, autopilot. Alright, avionics are set. Before takeoff checklist complete. Before taxi. Alright, what are the winds here? I've got no winds, so let's look around. 200, 150. Do we have a windsock around? Breaker 19. It's just close enough, J-Seed. Hold on a second. Can I see that windsock from here? That is pretty limp for a windsock. You know what? We're going to back taxi. Come on. I hit the parking brake. Let's go. Blame X in a plane. How's it going, J-Seed? Good to see you, man. Good thing this is an uncontrolled field. Bum, 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 bum. Me? I'm doing great. Finishing up a margarita mix. I'm doing well. Something, bottle to throttle. Details. Yeah, that is a pretty limp windsock, if I do say so myself. Come on, round we go. There we go. Alright, parking brake is set. Throttle up to 1800. Right there. Okay. Do our mag check. Left. 50 RPM drop. Good. Bring it back to both. It comes back up. Check. And the right mag. There's a 50 RPM drop. Looks good. Bring it back. Awesome. Mixture full rich because we're going to be taking off here. Here we go. Oh, wait. I almost did it again. There's our two Nick Olson passengers. Going to KAIT. We got our 18 gallons of fuel. Let's double check. Weight and fuel. Good. We have a margin of error. Alright, now we can go. cursor. Airspeed's alive. 40 knots. 50 knots. 55, 60, and rotate. Like butter. Alright, my course coming out of here is going to be 280. So before we get too off track, let's do that. Positive climb. Alright, due west is a heading of 270. So we're going to go a full notch past that to there. Alright, so we're going to hold that. Wrong button. Let's bring that heading bug around. Nope, too far. And autopilot, heading. There we go. Cheat mode. Let's go a little more to the right so we can catch our... Where are all the full stackers? I think they're over on, yeah, they're over on the Supporters Club server. Skyblock it is. Although Rain went to bed. Soccer went to go get some Advil. Callie, I think, is still in here. Yep. And the rest... Alright, 2,000 feet we're going to level off. Close enough. Let's lean her out. Oop, too much. You want to pull the mixture out, lean it out, just to the point the engine stumbles, and that's your peak performance, your best fuel flow is right there. Great for cruise. And yeah, we're at 2,000 feet, but oh, I didn't have my lights on. Grr. That's what I get for skipping additional checklists. I did 3 of them. That's enough, right? This is Wisconsin. Hey, Coach. How's it going? Oh, it looks like it's raining. I can see rain. Yep. Just very faintly. There's some rain there. Let's tip it a little more to the right. Ooh, let's see if we can hit that hot air balloon. Eating dinner and watching some flying. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I'm going to be doing that shortly, because I still got to get dinner. It's 7:10, and I haven't had dinner yet. This should be a short flight. 31 miles, nautical miles, mind you, so a little bit farther than miles. Yet another unit of measurement. It's not kilometers. It's not miles. It's nautical miles. Bum 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 bum. Just a little bit more in course, on course, in course, what have you. As I was saying, this is Wisconsin. Duluth is over there, like quite a ways over there. That's my pillar. That's not Duluth. If the pillar wasn't there, that would be where Duluth is. Actually, if I do over there. And zooming in, I'm only going to zoom on the plane, and I don't want to zoom in on the plane. There's that hot air balloon, dude. Bye. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not Wisconsin. This is Minnesota. I misspoke. We were in Wisconsin earlier. Not a lot of traffic. Oh, there's a semi-truck. We're tree trimming today because the ceilings are pretty low. You're supposed to be 500 feet from objects when you fly. So VFR, that usually means your minimums are, or the lowest you can go is 500 feet AGL, above ground level. And I'm pretty sure we got that here. Because if I check the... That's not the field elevation. Alpha Indigo India Tango. Field elevation is 1,206 feet, and we are at 2,000 feet. So there's 800 feet between me and the ground, so that's more than enough, but there's not a lot of room above me. In fact, if I jump back out, I don't think I can... No, I'd have to get out of the airplane like this and go up. Whoop, wrong button. What? Jumped out of the plane again. Alright. I gotta work these controls. I gotta know how to... There we go. Biplane. Yeah, see, this is the ceiling. You start getting into the scud. And as you get higher up... I like how it looks like it's flying into the ground. Let's get back in the cockpit. It's usually where you want to fly the airplane from. Usually. It's interesting. None of the... I'm looking at the chart here. And the only place reporting the winds is my destination. 150 at 4 knots. So really, really light wind. You want to see your town? X-Plane is... The roads are modeled accurately. The terrain is modeled roughly accurately. Like this is... If I look at Google Earth, this would all be, forest. But as far as cities go, they're not usually accurate. They're close. Like, they know where, like, buildings would be, and so they put buildings there. But they may not be the buildings that are actually there. It's not like Flight Simulator, which they spend, they have designers that do each and every, city so that they're close. Like, you can fly around New York City, and it looks like New York City. If I fly around New York City here, it looks a little off. Everything looks right in terms of layout, but the buildings aren't really recognizable, that sort of thing. This little guy can fly a couple hundred nautical miles. If it's just me, let me see what the range is, because I got the pilot, or the owner's manual, if you will. This is for a 172R, though. It's different than what I'm flying is an SP. So a little different. I think it's actually a different engine even. So the values I'm going to give you aren't exactly for this plane, but for similar. So I mean, it'll be close. Wing loading, meteorological, center of gravity. Well, what's the max range? Well, now we're getting into conversions. I don't care about conversions. White arcs, power plant, oil pressure, fuel flow, takeoff weight, center of gravity, maneuvering limits, landing, takeoff, placard examples, emergency procedures. Yeah, that's a good thing to have at the front of the documentation. Screw it. I could dig through range of Cessna 172 SP. 518 nautical miles at 75% power and about 8,000 feet. We're not at 8,000 feet, so that range is actually shortened. Atmosphere thickness and drag and that sort of thing. It's a lot more efficient the higher up you get. So that's this plane is, and you really don't want to push it to 518. That's like, you land on fumes kind of thing. It works, but don't count on it. your flight planning procedures. If you want to get everything exact so that you have your fuel to get from your origin to your destination, and that's your your planned cruise and power, and then there's a specified allotment for taxi in and taxi out. And you add that together, and that gets you from your origin to your destination, and then you calculate they recommend a 45-minute reserve. I bumped that up to like an hour. Like this flight here, you see my tanks are a little bit below half, my left and right tanks. I have 53 gallons total to use, but I only filled up to 20 gallons, I think. $18 gallons. That's more than enough to get me the 40 nautical miles and still have well over an hour of flight time. This flight might only burn 2 or 3 gallons. Because interestingly enough, JC, one of the things that I've always looked into ever since I first went to college, mostly because I was looking for cheap flights home. Because at the time my girlfriend lived in Toledo, and I was all the way down in Daytona Beach, Florida. And I, fresh out of high school, I wanted to go home a lot. And I used to go over to the airport and just see if there were any like vacant seats that I could hop in for cheap, and it worked a couple times. $100, get a flight home, round trip. Pretty slick deal. And then 2001 happened. But then I looked into, well, if I had an airplane or rented an airplane like a 172, it's slow. It's not the quickest thing, but it's still twice as fast as a car. I'm going 110 knots right now. Hey, Kays, how's it going? I'm going 110 knots, which I think, I can't remember the conversion. So that's 126 miles an hour. So obviously it's like somebody doing, twice as fast as 60 miles an hour down the highway. The fuel consumption of this engine is greater than a car. Like, it's ridiculous. I think I worked out that I could fly from Iowa to Ohio, just for paying for fuel, the cost it would take to drive from Iowa to Chicago in my Jeep. I know Jeep's not the greatest in fuel economy, but oh crap, where'd my course go? But that struck me as like, wow, that's actually really cool. That's interesting. It's telling me to go to 277, which would be over here. But I don't want that. It says my track is to the left. Let's go a little more. Hey, little hot air balloon. Now, that was illegal, technically. But I was watching him. Alright, here comes the path. We're getting close. We're within 12 nautical miles. Are we getting north by northwest? No, I'm in a high-wing, single-wing airplane. And I'm not in the middle of a cornfield. This is Minnesota. There's more trees than open fields like that. Close enough? Close enough. I'll take it. Alright, we're going to let the GPS path get recentered, and then we're going to turn back into it. So we're still at 2,000 feet. Minnesota's pretty flat, so I'm not worried about flying into the side of a mountain here. Because this is, I'm going to have to go at 280, which is going to be, this is 2728. So that tick mark right there is what we're going to be turning to. And unfortunately, as soon as I turn, like right now, there we go. And we turn back. Mad Sloth, welcome to the stream. This is, in fact, a real-time simulator. Most everything about it you could call real. This is the current date, the current time, the current weather. This is what it looks like in Minnesota right now. It's the current season, although there's not really seasons in X-Plane, but the timing's right. There's leaves on the trees. At least they're starting to pop up. But it's not that real, dude. I don't got to deal with TSA. Yes, Callie can agree. Callie can agree. This is what it looks like outside. It's shitty, dude. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look very good. Alright, and we're flying into a new area, so the weather just changed a little bit. It looks like it's getting worse. Great. Get my binoculars on. I don't see an airport yet. 7 miles out. She's looking California and feeling Minnesota. Yeah. Look, Ma, no hands. That's what an autopilot's for. Alright, I am dead on. The airport should be... Oh, great, the ceiling's coming down. Wonderful! If this gets too crappy. This is going to be interesting. That might be the field over there? No. Well, we're going to start slowing down regardless. I'm not going to drop too much in altitude because we're 800 feet off the ground, and pattern altitude is it's supposed to be 1,000 feet or so, 1,100 feet off the ground. So we're actually below pattern altitude. So we're in a good height, but golly, I should be able to see the airport, or at least the rotating beacon. It's probably right there. Case. Uh-oh. There's ground fog. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. We better land this thing and land this thing quick. I mean, this thing's IFR, or IFR certified. I can do ILS procedures like there's no tomorrow, but RNAVs and the other fancier approaches, no. Where am I heading? Moose Lake. Or wait, no. Aitkin Kurtz. It's just north of Millie Locks National Wildlife Refuge, Millie Locks Lake. That lake there, I think. Yeah, that lake. It is Brainerd Lakes. Well, there's so many lakes up there. You know what it's like. All right, we're 3 miles out, and I'm not seeing. I ain't seeing nothing. Pronounced mill? Mill? Okay. So that took 4 years of French. So, yeah. Is that it? Nope, that's a road. That's not going to work. Well, this is disconcerting. I've got a GPS telling me it's dead ahead in 3 miles. There it is. There's the beacon. So we're going to head straight for it. We're going to overfly the field. Where you're going, you don't need... No. Although, if you want to be really technical, the Victor Airways, of which I am nowhere near one... oh, great. There are very large towers around the... Who puts ginormous radio towers near an airfield? All right, autopilot. Wrong button. Nope. I don't want to type in chat. Autopilot, go away. My airplane. Alright, I'm going to drop the flaps there. It's a little fast, but... Oh, there's a grass runway there. But I think I want the... at least I think that's a grass runway. Yeah, grass runway, asphalt runway. I'm going to want the asphalt runway. So we're going to fly up to it and enter the pattern. Sadistic air... Cell phone companies. Yeah, yeah. As the clouds roll in, my frame rates go down. Alright, this is going to be a tight base. That's about right. Second notch of flaps. Trim the nose back down because we want to be descending. I do and I don't. This is an uncontrolled field. Normally at this time I'd be making Unicom calls, saying things like, I forget where I'm at. Aitkin Kurtz traffic, November 791, Juliet Romeo is downwind for runway. I don't even know what runway this is. Aitkin Kurtz traffic, please advise. And yes, it is easier to ask for forgiveness than it is permission, even in aviation. Because remember, air traffic control is there to help you. They're not necessarily there to punish you. So what if they tell you to do something and you can't? Don't. You might have some explaining to do, but you'll at least be able to explain it. if you get my drift. There we go. 75, that's a decent approach. I'm a little high. There we go. I'm on course. On glide slope. Coming down to 70 knots. Let's level off a little bit. We got quite a descent right there. I'm going to go flight idle here so I don't float too long. Fly it to the runway. Nose it up, nose it up, nose it up, nose it up. Wheels down, nose down, and brakes. Oh, that was better than the last landing. I kept it on the center line this time. Alrighty. Are there passengers here I can pick up? Let's see. There is, and they go back to where we came from, which is ideal, because then I don't make money, but I don't have to pay the owner of the aircraft the bonus fee, which is moving his airplane farther away. Okay, let's end this flight here. Actually, you know what? Let's do this right. Let's do this right. I cut way too many corners. Let's do this right. So we're going to come up here to a taxiway, get off the runway in case somebody else wants to land. There's nobody else around. Let's just be clear, but as these streams go along, I will get more and more accurate, we'll say. But this is just me trying to get into the groove. Trying to remember things, because it's been years since I've been, this, I don't want to say this hardcore into flying, but it's been a while since I've simmed, we'll say. Alright, this is a generic airport. This runway or this taxiway is probably not even here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to park it right here. Like that. Doink. Alright. Now, to get credit for the passengers I have, we kill the engine. Only the American passengers. Actually, some of the airline planes that you can download off the xplane.org website for X-Plane. In their sound files, if your landing is within certain parameters, you can actually hear people clapping and cheering. It's quite amusing. All right, X economy, finish flight. There it goes. Your flight is logged and results can be found. Your aircraft is no longer rented. Still 15 gallons of fuel. Okay, that'll get us back, because I filled it with 18. We burned 3, 15. I've got plenty of fuel to get back. So that flight's done with. How much money did I make? All right, I'm up to $2,668 for the day. All right, we are here in KAIT in Aitkin, Minnesota. Let's take these 2 passengers and go back. I agree, Kays. Yeah, it's like you didn't trust the pilot. Yeah. Show me the plane. Rent the plane. My flight. Ready for departure. 2 passengers and a plane with 15 gallons of fuel. I'm going right back where I came from, and the horse I rode in on. I'll show myself out. Okay. So then what we do is we open X economy back up. I'm not going to start the flight. I'm going to start the plane back up again, since it makes you stop the plane. Parking brake is set. Okay. Mixtures in. Crack the throttle. Pump to prime. See the needle wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And crank. There we go. 1,000 RPM. Down, baby, down. Down. There we go. Alright, avionics are on. We're going to go direct to, we're going to right back where we came from. So K, what is that? MZH, Mike. LM, Z. KMZH, that's it. Enter, activate. The only part of flying that makes me nervous is when the plane reaches the correct altitude and the pilot lays off the... Cruise! Cruise! They're trying to save the airline money. But yeah, that's, you know, even for me too, you like to... The sound of the engines gives you that confidence that things are going A-okay, and then when things go whoa and gets quiet, it's unsettling. I can agree. What are you going to do when the airplanes go electric? And they sound like, you know, like a Prius driving down the road. It's certainly not a throaty V8 or anything, but... Alright, that's good. Taxi lights, beacons, strobe, nav. Check the controls real quick. Up, down. Up, down, up, down. Check out the back. Elevator, rudder. Looks good. Decent quick checks. Let's get these guys going. Start flight. 15 gallons of fuel, 2 assignments. Let's get out of here before the weather gets any worse, huh? I like the part when I go upside down. Or when landing back in Dublin and the pilot circles really close to the ocean while banking, and all you see when you look out is the ocean. Yeah. Yeah. It's sunny there? Alright, well, sorta. It can't be that sunny. I mean, well, the sun's still up, I guess. When we get to the end of the runway, I'm going to throw my route into Sky Vector. That'll give me a general heading we can fly out on. Actually, I've got a shadow, so that means the sun is shining a little bit through this misty, crappy... Hey, there's 2 windsocks. Oh, 2 runways. Well, normally if they're positioned so that you can see them from both runways, you only need 1. But, whatever. Actually, it looks like, ideally, I'd want to take off on the grass runway. Not as limp as before, so there is a wind. Well, let's see. Yeah, those windsocks are showing wind, so this is gonna be bumpy because there's no taxiway. Come on. There you go. We're gonna back taxi, get between the taxi lights. Alright. And yes, planes do this. And yes, it is tough. The one thing you don't want is a prop strike. I got stuck in Pittsburgh once. I was at work. The plane that was going to take me home, he hit the prop as he was taxiing off the runway into the grass. Alright, so this should be smoother. So we're going to go to one side and back taxi. Is that car going to drive through the runway? It disappeared. Good car. Good car. Saying about saving money, airline money, fly Ryanair. Yeah. They were trying to... Yep, standing room only. Yep. Anything to save money. Anything to save money. Well, it's like one of the earliest business related money-making schemes, not a scheme, that I had heard of when I was really little, to show, you know, how companies were thinking about saving money, was reading about, it was either United or American Airlines, in their salads that they would serve airline passengers. They used to put, like, what was it, olives, I think, on it? Like 3 olives. And by removing 1 olive, they saved, you know, like a couple $1,000,000 or something ridiculous like that. So they did. And it got me thinking, well, why stop at 1? You know, what are they going to remove next? You know, 2 olives, and so you only get 1, and then there's no olives, and they're like, oh, we're saving all this money. Yeah, but I like the olives. Well, this is a long grass runway, which is a good thing. Bum 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 bum. Almost to the end. Yeah, yeah, they do that at my work too. They do your sandwiches too, which is kind of annoying. But the price actually works out to, you know, what I would, you know, could see myself paying for a sandwich. You know, it usually doesn't go more than $4. And then I grab me a drink. Alright, we're going to park it right here. And we're doing the stainless steel panel again. I just felt that, so that means my trim is right on takeoff. Cool. Alright, let's turn this around. So we're going to go KAIT to KMZH. Alright, that's going to give me a heading of load 102. So we'll turn our heading bug. Alright, so there's... I'm going to zoom in while I do this. I'm going to lean into the panel. There's 90, there's 100, 102. Okay. Let's sit back up in our seats. We have our direct to, that looks good. Actually, that says I'm left. Oh, it's because when I plugged it in over there, I think if I do it again. Yeah, there we go. I can reset it. I have to remember that. If I get too far off course, I can always... Alright, catch you in a bit, J-Seed. Let's go. Cursor's in my way, but I'm just going to leave it. Right, a little bit of back pressure. Keep the nose light. Airspeed's alive, 45, 50 knots. 55, 60 knots, and rotate. Butter. Alright, we'll get back up to 2,000 feet. And looks like some of this flight, if not all of it, might be IFR. Ooh. If that's the case, I'm going to have to look up some charts real quick. Alright, autopilot's coming on. Vertical speed is 4. And heading. Plane likes to bank. Alright, we'll level off and we'll lean out the engine. There we go. Lean it till it stumbles. Turn off our taxi light. And I need to figure out... so what's doing this is Terra Haze. I was messing with this. I'm going to be messing with this for a while. Yeah, that's not the one I want. At night, that one works pretty well, but... We'll do that one. No. One of these will change this the cockpit. Wide band of fog. Nope. No water controls. Nope. Color intensity, color offset. I mean, it's really cool. I can, tweak all the colors, like the water. Like that little guy there, I can make it greener, because that's awfully blue. Oop, a little high. Ease back the throttle a little bit. Actually, we'll leave it here. It's a non-standard flying altitude, but I'm flying non-standardly. Alright. Turn that to the right a little bit. Get somewhat on course. Or back to the line. Can I run through what each dial is? Certainly. Okay. I know most of these. So over here, we have the fuel. You can see we have about, let's see, that's 15, that's 10. So we have about 13 gallons on each side. Down here we have oil. We have oil temperature on the left. It's in the green, you're good. We have oil pressure. Again, it's in the green, you're good. Up here we have the EGT, the exhaust gas temperature. And it shows a high mark, but it's actually cool because we're in the air. There's the air cooled. We have the fuel flow. Lower is better, obviously. It's listed in gallons per hour. Down here we have the vacuum pressure in inches of mercury. It's in the green. We're good. We have the amps right here, which shows that we're not draining the battery. It's a little positive, so we've got a little bit of charge going back into the batteries. The chronometer, temperature gauge. This will also do voltage and that sort of thing. Little digital thing. It's a timer. It's a clock. It's a bunch of different things all in one. This is your airspeed. It measures knots. Pressure altitude is shown up here. That's keyed off of altitude or your altimeter. Down here is the turn coordinator, and that shows your bank. There is no pitch, as it says here at the bottom. There's no pitch information. The ball in the middle is your yaw, your slip, if you will. Let's say as you turn, your plane starts to literally slip through the air. If you keep the ball in the middle, however, it's a coordinated turn. So instead of turning like this where you're kind of throwing your tail back, you'll actually, the plane will follow nose to tail the curve. It's useful for coordinating turns because there are procedures where you have to turn at an exact time and turn a certain amount of time, called the standard rate turn. This is your artificial horizon. Keep the blue up, keep the brown down. It also gives you your pitch information and your roll information. Below that is your DG, your directional gyro. It's a compass basically driven by a gyro, vacuum gyro. Up here is the altimeter in feet. You can also set the atmospheric pressure here. This is your VSI, your vertical speed indicator. It's your rate of climb or your rate of descent. Houses get smaller, houses get bigger. Below that is your RPM gauge. The name escapes me at the moment. I should know this. And then over here is your navigation equipment. Down here is your ADF. And these are your Nav 1, Nav 2. This will track an ILS, or this will track like a localizer or a VOR, radio beacons, that sort of thing. The radio stack, we have the COM panel. Select your COM 1, COM 2, COM 3, Nav 1, Nav 2. This is the GPS. It's a Garmin 430 simulation, we'll say. And then down here we have, this is the COM radio right here. This is the, this is ADF. Down here is your transponder. So when your blip shows up on radar, I come up as 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the autopilot. And down here is the DME equipment. That's the panel, generally. As we fly out over the lake in the Scud. We'll see how this goes. Cool, yeah. I love flying. I don't like a stainless steel panel, though. That's interesting. Lots of blue. Well, yeah. Rayleigh offsets, atmospheric thickness, MIE gain. Alright, one of these should... And I still can't figure out what error message is going ding ding. I know what the error is, and I can't fix it. It's one of my repositories. Linux details. Leave those out. Light settings. Yeah, let's fly with a spotlight, huh? That makes sense. Huh. I'll have to play with this little bit more when I've got a little bit more time, but it's a glare thing. And maybe it's this one, settings. Sounds. Nope. 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 Meh. Who knows? I'll figure it out at some point. How are we looking? A little bit to the left. So we'll turn back into it. Now the GPS, the little line you see there, right here. When I press the direct to button, it marks basically, it knows where that position is, and it knows where I'm going and draws a line. Actually, if I do this, doink. So I made a mark here in Moose Lake, and it drew a line just similar to this from where I was at to my destination, my direct to, and where that, as I point at it because you can't see it, in fact, it's probably behind the screen right there. But where the line is on the GPS is where that path is, and it shows if we're flying like this or like this. If I'm flying like down here, it's going to show what it shows right now, where it's a little right of the triangle, and if I'm over here, it'll be a little left of the triangle. And so all you're trying to do is get on that line basically, or just keep it in the general vicinity, more or less. Bum 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 bum. Ooh, broken at 600. That's interesting. I'm sorry, overcast at 600. That is a solid ceiling. 5 statute miles of visibility. Ooh, it's getting worse. Alright, so let's pull up KMZH. What kind of approaches do we have? I have an NDB approach. I have an RNAV approach. Let's try that. Geez, that has me at 4,000 feet. Well, we'll see how it is when we get close. As I say, as the clouds roll in. But like I can do an ILS like there's no tomorrow. I flew those for breakfast. Heck, back in the day, my boss and I, when I worked for the Banner Tower, on our lunch breaks, we used to have these competitions on Microsoft Flight Simulator back in the day. This was, oh god, this would have been, what would have been the version? Like FS98 or something like that. I think it would have been 90. Let me see the picture. Yep, Flight Simulator 98. It was horrible looking, comparatively, obviously, but it was better than nothing. But what we would do is we'd spend our lunch break having little competitions, ILS competitions. We would take off from Toledo Express Airport in Toledo, Ohio, and as soon as we got off the ground, we would set the weather to 00. Now, 00 means you have zero miles of visibility, and the ceilings are at 0, which means it's cloud from the ground up, and you can't see anything. It's just the whole screen would be just white. All you'd see is your panel, and that's illegal. You can't fly in 00. The lowest approaches, I think, is, what is it, Cat 3 approach, puts the minimums at 200, 150, I think 200 feet. I think they're trying to get it down to 150, especially with some of the stuff my company's working on, but they're trying to get it down even farther. But let's just say 200 feet is your minimum. So you'll break through the clouds at 200 feet, and if you do not see the runway, you call off the approach and you fly away. So we would fly from Toledo Express to Detroit Wayne Metro. We would tune the ILS and for one of the runways, pick a runway, and we would fly it and fly the course all the way down, and as soon as you hit the ground, as soon as the wheels made contact, we'd pause the sim, pull up the weather, and see where we were. Sometimes we'd be on the runway, sometimes we wouldn't be, sometimes we would be, too far down, sometimes we'd be short. And whoever could get closest to the touchdown points, which is the 2 solid white boxes on the runway, won that round, I guess you could say. Was I a pilot IRL? Well, I did this last night, so I'll just do it again. So I got this guy, and in this guy, I have this. and I have this, and I have that. It doesn't make me a pilot, but I have about... I knew this last night. I should just add this up again. 11, 19... About 35 hours, 36 hours of logged actual flight time. But that's just what an instructor was, willing to sign off on. But I've got hundreds, almost 1,000 plus hours in either like simulators like this, or level 6 or level D simulators. Level 6 simulator is, we had them at school at Embry-Riddle. It's an actual 172 cockpit, minus the wings, minus the tail, minus the back seat. All the controls are there, all the dials are there, all your avionics are there. You have a 220 degree fiberglass shell that goes from your field of view up to it was like 80 degrees or 70 degrees, 60 degrees maybe. And you would have 3 projectors project this display, the scenery around you. Excuse me, very, very immersive. And I worked for the simulation department there for 3 years, I think. And every day you got a free flight, every single one of those. And I'd use them as opportunities to fly, obviously, because you gotta fly them. That's part of the pre-flight. Make sure they work, right? And then my first job out of college was with Flight Safety International, and they have level D simulators. The level D simulators are the ones that are on the pneumatic legs and actually move around, and those things are... They can get you going. They can screw with you. Like when you take off, the simulator sits level, and it will actually rock. It actually goes backward like this. So as you're sitting there, your field of view shows level field, but what you're actually doing is literally sitting lower and farther in the seat, and it gives you this feeling of acceleration, and then everything starts moving, and I mean it feels like you're moving. And if you ever wind up crashing in a level D, the moment before impact, your heart stops. It's freaky. You can get so engrossed in the training or following an approach to a T, and something screws up, and you put it in. Oh. You know it. You feel it. Alright, what do we got? 7 miles. A little bit left. As we putz into the soup. Flying in the sky. This is still legal VFR, although you're supposed to be technically 500 from objects and 500 from the clouds. I am not 500 from the clouds, but close enough. Alright, 6 miles out. I think they were still reporting 5 mile visibility. Yeah, 5 mile visibility. I wouldn't call it a decent barrel roll with this airplane. It'll do a barrel roll, but the engine will quit. This is not equipped with inverted fuel pumps. These are gravity feed. There's the airport. I can see the beacon through the light, through the fog. I think the oil pump also has to be inverted flight capable. But yeah, this plane, as soon as you roll it like this and get to right about here, all of the fuel in the tanks goes away from. It's actually a hole in the tank that gets fed into a pump, and then it goes into the engine. Yeah, you lose that as soon as you go like this. But the good thing is, because the engine is still moving, as you roll back around, it'll start right back up. So, yeah, it's an aileron roll, and if you keep going, it's a barrel roll. Yeah. It's popularly known as a barrel roll. 3.5 miles out. And I have the beacon in sight. Oh, frame rate. Oh, frame rate. How you doing? If I sit over here, I'm at 27 FPS, and I zoom in there, and I got 4. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. And it's raining over here. Is that right? Let's check weather real quick. That is right. There are storms to the north of me. So right up there. Actually, right over there. You can see the darker, well, I mean, that's all above me, but out over that way is, I can see some yellows and some reds. Alright, 2 miles out, autopilot out, my airplane. Let's get a landing light on. Actually, I think, yep, that's the runway. Oh, this is going to be abbreviated. This is going to be abbreviated. Let's see if I can do this. Don't do this at home. See, I have a lot of bad habits that stem from watching the Banner Tower pilots. If you've ever watched or seen or know how they do it, it's a lot of hard banking, low flying, slow flying. I mean, they'll come in like this to pick up a banner, and they can actually sidestep and land. They're some of the best pilots I've ever seen. But I'm too high. I can tell that right now. Missed approach on that end. Where's that windsock at? Ugh, crosswind. Ugh. Do I need this at home? No. Not recommended. Alright, let's go a little bit more out. A little farther downwind. Now we'll cut it in. There we go. That's a little better. I feel a little better about that one. Not the greatest, but it works. Well, I think I can get it down. And mains. And nose wheel. There we go. Not the prettiest, but it gets the job done, you know? Park that right there. Kill the engine. And get paid. These two guys delivered. Flight is logged. Results can be found at the website. Let's see what we got. This thing's quick. I like it. Just what I've flown today made me $3,700. I'll take it. And we brought the airplane back to where it was. That's awesome. That is awesome. That was louder than I expected. Alright, guys. I think that's going to do it for today. I'm getting a little peckish. Yeah, if only that were real money. Um, right? What's that after taxes? That is actually after taxes. The way FS economy here, I'll pull it up a little bit. So FS economy, you can see I've got in the bank. I got $10,500. The cash balance is what I've made today because I haven't deposited anything yet. But what you do, this is what I mean by the MMO style, is there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that are doing this. Basically, each airport, like this is the airport that I'm at that we see, KAIT. We have a list of assignments, the passengers and cargo that are at the airport that want to go somewhere else. There's the pay for how much they're willing to pay for that flight. And there's their destination is listed here. How far away it is listed here. And how long they're willing to wait for somebody to show up comes up over here. Also at the airport, in addition to passengers and cargo, you have your aircraft. So right now, actually, if I refresh this, you'll see the 172 will show up. Wait. Oh, I'm not at this airport. KMZH. All right, there's the airplane we just flew in on. You see, it's back in here, and it's unrented because I'm done with it. But right now there is only cargo available here. So if I wanted to, I could fly up to Canada and take this air cargo with 645 kilograms. I don't think I could carry that, but it'll pay almost $4,800. Or I can take an envelope 70 miles. And only get $158 for it. That works if I want to take like 2 passengers and that. A little extra money. But each airport looks like this. Some airports have more, some airports have less. And each thing you do can make money. The other thing you can do in here is you can actually own an FBO like this one, Nick Olson Air. I'm pretty sure that's a private one. He owns this FBO, and so when you buy fuel, he gets money. If he owns any of these planes, he'll get money for renting the planes. If you land at the airport, like I landed here, I actually have to pay him $55 landing fee. It's a landing tie-down service fee type thing. It's pretty common at most airports. And that'll make you money as well if you own an FBO. Again, goods, ship them around, make money. If you own an aircraft, you actually have to pay things. Like you'll pay insurance, you'll pay maintenance, all the things you would normally pay for with an aircraft. But all of the payments, all the deductions are like this one right here. I said $158. If I make that flight, I won't get $158. It'll actually be less than that once you take out all the fees and taxes and everything else. So, yeah. But yeah, it's all pretty cool. I kind of like it. It adds a nice little facet to flight simulation. I like it. Doink. So, there we go. Anyways, that was a good couple flights. Made some decent money, I would say. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I do appreciate it. Is there anybody I know streaming? Oh, there's a lot of people I know streaming. Oh, it looks like Knight is playing Star Maid. I see Coach Ray's in there. Might as well, let's go raid. Let's see if BenBot's working. 7M. Yay, it does work. Let's go raid Knight. Tell him X sent you. Blame X. Thank you guys for coming out. I do appreciate it. These are going to be more frequent. I mean, I think this is the 3rd day in a row. I don't expect that much, but I had the time, so I figured I might as well. But I do want to do this more often because I really, really enjoy this. Hopefully you guys do too. If you don't, tell me. And yeah, I think that'll do it, guys. Thank you so much. I'll catch you later. Go raid Knight.